I'm Sham, and I'm back with a brand new track, and you guessed it. Or maybe you didn't. But judging by this expression, I'm still stuck in Spokane. What the? Anyways, it just kind of brings up the reality that things can go haywire. They're not going to go as expected. This is something that's well known within the Vagabond community. Those who have experienced, those who have train hopped, who have tried to get around, that you're going to encounter certain obstacles. And also within yourself, there's going to be times when you have low energy, when you just don't feel like making a certain effort, or you feel like, hey, I'm making certain efforts and I'm banging my head against the wall, and I still want to bang my head against the wall until something happens. We're not able to see very clearly at times when our own vantage point is the only perspective we have. And that's why you got to rely on other people. For me, the kind of way to counter that is to sit back a little bit and say, hey, what else can I do? The one thing I can do is to travel around the town and to scout other spots. And that's what I've been doing. And just to kind of go back, I've only started to really try to catch out the last 4 days. And what happened is day one, when I went from Seattle to Spokane, got into the yard, got caught. If you guys go back a couple slides or whatever you want to call them, you're going to see that story. And I think that's really what ultimately throws a wrench into my plans. Because if not, I probably would have been in Denver by now and experienced the Rockies and things of that nature. I try not to get too ahead of myself. I really believe in stoicism, and that means living in the moment, accepting whatever has happened. You know, we have feelings and things of that nature that we can't deny, but what we can control is how we react to it. And the way I react to it is, what can I do next? What is the only next step that I can take, and I'm going to focus on that. And for me, that's finding a catch-out spot. So I'm here. I kind of disregarded that BNSF yard because that's where I got caught, right? So I go to the other yard, Union Pacific, and it's small, very inactive. And the first night, I'm really just observing. I think day one is more of an observation, trial run type of thing. And I see that there's some activity. There's one train building itself up, and then it left. Although it drove backwards, which is kind of weird, but who knows what it's going to do down the line. Down the line, it's going to join the main tracks of BNSF and then head out of town, whatever direction it's going to go. Hopefully it's going to, go west a little bit and then down south. Anyways, so second night does the same thing. I'm just not able to get in on it. And the reason is that because it's pretty wide open. And I just don't want to be seen. The thing is that if you want to take a risky approach, your journey can be done before it even starts. We don't know the attitude of the conductors or the workers. It's not like there's a Yelp. John, the conductor, oh yeah, train hoppers are great. I really love your guys' enthusiasm. I wish you could ride more of my train. Let's make it happen. Or maybe you're Sarah, the train yard worker, and you're thinking, wow, Sham, you're like my dream guy. I totally wish you could sneak past me and get on that train and show the world how amazing you are. Like it's a huge risk. So for me, I'm trying to find the quote-unquote safest way to get on a train, and it's going to delay you. But again, you have to consider the fact that this is a long-term journey. And you're not going to try to fulfill these short-term satisfactions just to be like, hey, cool, now I'm in Denver, let's fucking go. Even though I would like things to progress in a certain manner, I need to accept. And the funny thing is that, like, before I did this, I watched probably over 100 hours of train hopping, and Stobe the Hobo, rest in peace, rest in power, was the guy that got me into it. And there was this documentary, like a compilation of stuff he'd done. I don't know if it was like the Canadian Journey or whatever it was. And he had Wingman with him. Said something to the effect that even like the most experienced hobos can make mistakes at times. can totally miscalculate the direction that things are going in. Anyways, also that second night, I saw a train come by at like 2 a.m. And it brings a funny point. And I again, rest in peace, Hobo Shoestring. Uh, he was talking about the fact that it's like whenever you want to leave a yard and go get some snacks at a convenience store, that's when the train wants to come up. And guess what? I'm like, man, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. Let me go to a convenience store. It's like 10 minutes away. So I get my stuff, come back 10 minutes later, total of like 20 minutes, and a train is pulling in the direction I want to go. So I'm like hustling. I'm going across the railroad crossing, grab my shit, and then I approach the train. It's like pulled in a little ways. I approach it, start running down the line. There's a lot of lumber cars, which are not ideal to ride. And I'm hoping, okay, at least give me a grainer. At least give me a grainer. I'm like running down the tracks, down the gravel. I see a couple tankers. I'm like, please, come on. Just like have one thing that's kind of comfortable for me to ride. So I get to the end and it's a tanker. And right when I get to the end, it starts moving forward. And I'm like grabbing and walking. And then I start jogging and running. And it goes too fast. And for me, I think it's a great lesson because, in my opinion, I think you should probably take the first ride that's available because the train is going to side out sooner or later, and then you can use that time to explore. Missed opportunity, but I don't want to beat myself up too much, and I want to encourage you guys to kind of have a more mild approach and say that like it is what it is. Anyways, so 2 days in, I probably missed 2-3 opportunities, right? And then my third day in, things just they're just not popping in the yard. So now here I am in my fourth day, and I decided to go downtown, and that's ultimately where things are going to branch off. It's called the Sunset Junction. If they branch off, going down to the left, going down south, that's where you're going to go to Pasco, and that's where I'm hoping to go because I will just want to avoid this whole goddamn mess that is Spokane. And at this point, I'm going to call it Spokane. It's a goddamn mess. I've spent too much time here, and I'm done. I'm donezo with it. Anyways, that's kind of just the recap. There's a lot of patience and waiting around, and this is what I want to make clear to people is that we're showing you the good stuff, but on this journey, I want to show you reality. And some people, it's like if you're not very aware of who I am and what I've done, you might think, yeah, this is a newbie, this is a rookie, what the F are you doing? You're stuck this long, this and that. And there's so many factors that are involved, and a lot of them maybe is like, I just didn't want to make an effort to explore the other options, so to speak. And at this point, just chilling, trying to figure stuff out. I'm thankful that I was able to expand and see different things, and now I'm able to kind of process more angles to the whole situation. But regardless, hey guys, it's a long journey. This is going to happen. There's nothing, I want to try to avoid the word failure because it's all part of the experience. And being a vagabond, being a hobo, train hopping, doing things of that nature, it's an experience. Take it as such. I'm Sham, and I'm out. Peace.